little something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the Algarve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back. Foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool, just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start, I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hucks they fly. The spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start, I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Portimao party is the place we flee for the friends we see and these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar. Better yet to the sea.
Hold it up and let it dangle.
Start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
Welcome to WGGMBUCC. Here in Sardinia, we've got a top-of-the-table tilt. 4 teams that have gone undefeated are matching up. 2 over here, 2 over there. By that, I mean to the right of our screen. Spangled and Chicken Packs. We'll worry about them later. In front of us, we've got Finland taking on Noot Bootsma. As mentioned, all undefeated. The pre-quarters have just gone through. The reseeds will be based on the results here for tomorrow's quarters. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside John Doc to bring you the action. Doc, end of the day, we got the big showcase matchup.
Yeah, great opportunity for everyone else who's been knocked out now to grab a couple of drinks on the sideline here. Almost feels a little bit like a showcase game. I don't think teams are going to mind too much about the final seed. I haven't seen the Finns yet, and I was asking you, babe, before the game, what did you think? I know they came in as the second seeds, but you said they're legit, so I'm going to wait a few points to say the same.
Well, they might have to prove it. Vaietoranta sends deep, the chase is on, and overshoots Yalovara on the opening sequence, and Noot Bootsma will have a break chance on the first point.
Very close to confirming what you've said straight away there. The throw, it did land perfectly in the back corner, just slightly overthrew the receiver. So pretty legit throw if there's such a thing as a legit turnover.
And Noot Bootsma kick things off. Fire forward, hard one into the guts for Claus. 4th, and Scullion dumps the hat, and an overshoot again. And they go back and forth both ways with turnovers into the end zones.
Yeah, that one a bit of a miscommunication. He kind of pulled out of his cut and then went again, and not sure. I don't know how maybe he's trying to hit the hat to throw the hat to bring the disc down, but I think he's not getting that one. I think it did show that maybe the Noot Bootsma have a little speed advantage, maybe.
Vasquio to Vitari, Hastbaka. The connection back to Vitari, and Vasquio catches it off the chest. He winds up the backhand, sends deep, chases on, and again hits this time. Yalovara with the goal. Katie 4th, the 211s were right next to each other, but the goal goes for the Finns.
Yeah, I feel like I can agree with your statement of them being legit before that. I know I only saw 2 throws, but just the quality of that throw and the last one looking so kind of good, honestly. It looked like a good throw. We were just out there throwing for a minute or two. It's obviously they've done a bit more of a warm-up than I did before I had my throws, but it's not easy conditions to throw in, so to to hit 2 throws like that. I know only one was a completion, but if their D-line can be close to that level on offense, then yeah, I think this could be a much better game than people maybe are expecting. I think unless you're real old school, you probably don't remember a time where Finland were considered a great team, but I know I've always heard about how good the Swedes and the Finns and part of that world excelled at ultimate back when I didn't even know the sport existed.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, Worlds in Turku, Finland in 2002. Fontanet, oh, big fake, gets some room. Gets the completion, hitting the ground to Carell. Don Tom. Carell gives the dump. Wants to shovel forward, good defense. Ledonne. Fakes. Goes back to the dump. Don Tom. Underneath. Carell.
Call on the field.
And it's going to stay with Carell as they discuss. And they seem ready to get back into this one. Carell. Shovels. Kwok. Looking for the around. Finds center to Tom. Tom to Coral. Right back to Don Tom, and we've got a stoppage, another collision. It looks like a pick.
Same 2 players as the last call.
Tom to Ledone. Comes up off the sand with the disc. Fakes everything and then finds Fontanet for the goal. And Natsuo respond. It's 1 apiece.
Yeah, only 2-3 points into the game here, and I think we can already see the trend of how this one's going to be. I think the Finland team going to be a bit more reliant on those deep shots. If they can keep them up the way they just had them, and then I think for the Natsuo, I think we saw how they're going to work. It's maybe a little bit of a speed advantage, and happy to work and swing the disc a little bit more.
One. Early days, 2 holds.
It is a drinking game.
A dirty hold and a clean hold.
We can see a bit of a crowd going to build for this game as some of the other games and players finish off. I think on a normal day like this, you'd say, who really cares? I don't want to stick around and watch this, but I think a lot of people are very interested or are just happy to actually be here rather than back in wherever they're staying. It's not a bad place to finish the evening.
Yeah, and there's certainly 2 quarterfinalists who will be facing both of these 2 teams tomorrow, so doing some scouting. There's the deep shot goes, chases on, Cesario can't quite get there. Great play made by Santilja for the goal. Finland hold clean.
I think I'm unsure what to think in this one. I feel like Natsuo, maybe a slight edge, but looking at the way Finland are playing, I'm like, I would just like to be out there playing with people who can throw it like this. So either way, I think we're in for a great game if this keeps up, because I haven't seen anything that looks like a bad throw yet. Gotta imagine more turnovers will come eventually, but that throw was just on the money.
Similar size rosters here. I think Natsuo has 1 additional rostered player, so from the start of the tournament, assuming everyone's still available at the end of day 2.
think these teams 2nd and 6th place last year, so I didn't go back to see if they'd played previously, but a very good chance that they would have been crossing paths.
I would have imagined they did. I know Notsuo were eliminated by eventual champs Spangled in the quarters. Kwok fires deep. Don Tom all alone. Can he milk it in? Like a cattle farmer, he can indeed. Puts another one on the board, and offense is being made to look easy. Both sides scoring on each asking.
Yeah, that's what they're showing, that they've got a deep game as well also. So they've shown they can work the unders, they've shown they can work the deeps. I think now what they might need to show is, can they slow down the Finland deep game and see if Finland are able to work the unders. Because so far we've seen everything on offense except for Finland having to work the disc, because they've been so efficient on the deep shots so far, they haven't had to. I think some of these teams could cause problems for non-Masters age teams, especially these teams. This has been very impressive.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, you know, late in the day, maybe not. Late in the tournament, maybe not. But you put them together for one game against an open age team, and there's a lot that they could give serious troubles to.
I mean, technically this one's late in the day, but they've probably had some easier games earlier in the day.
And this is late in the day against one another.
Yeah.
And a big takeaway there. Scullion, I believe, and it's picked up quickly for Katzenbach. Katzenbach to fourth. Fourth, Scullion. Claps 2 hands on it, feels the contact on the back and calls a foul.
2 hands up in apology. Normally it's just one. I think he was, it wasn't an apology, it was maybe a continued stall.
Scullion tests the mark, goes around and hits for the goal. That one into Johnny Hawk, and that's a break for the Houstonites.
Yeah, second time of asking, they get their break. They had a chance in the second point of the game. Finland's first goal didn't convert. This time they do, and I think we saw there, was asking how would Finland work the unders, and their first attempt on a real under, it gets layout deep by maybe a slight, like I said, I think the team from Houston a little bit faster on the sand. Not by much, but it doesn't take much in these conditions.
So Finland will put a new O-line out.
Yeah, I'd imagine both teams relatively happy to rotate players in this one. Like we said, it's not actually a knockout game. This one's for seeding, so you could cause the upset here, but if an upset happens in the other one, it kind of cancels out anything you do here. So it's not always such a statement that you just need to go out and win these. Sometimes it's better to get some reps.
Woo! Nice hands there. Antinoia. Oh, and this time bounces off the hands. Another break chance available. Fontenette unsure whether she wanted to pick it up, does, and goes back to Corell. Corell finds center. Mordock there, and then Cesario goes to ground. Cesario, and just off the wrist, but kept up by Kunze. And Corell fires inside. No goal yet. Mordock, and hits there for another break. Notsuo on a roll here. That's 3 in a row. Fontenette cashes in.
Yeah, I'm surprised there was no down calls. That grab looked very close. As she caught it, it looked like she pulled up a bit of sand with her. So maybe she pushed the disc down a little bit more. But I guess if nobody calls it, I guess it was up. So again, just a bit of the speed advantage here. I'm just seeing. I think disc skills in all those areas, it looks evenly matched, but the speed of the Natsuo here just seems to be a bit of a difference maker. And if in every other area you can be matched and a team can beat you in something as important maybe as speed, that's a pretty difficult one to overcome. So we got to see if the Finland team here can maybe regroup and rely on their throws a little bit more consistency, and maybe have to work a little bit smarter to get free.
Here's the pull. Scullion doing some double duty out there.
Nice pull. It just lands in and then rolls out.
And put into play. The bid, what a takeaway. Scullion gets horizontal big time, straight to fourth. Fires to the big unit of Riddle, and then the next throw gets away. Foul call.
Yeah, I was going to say that one wasn't the best throw, but looks like an uncontested foul call here, and kind of makes sense.
It does make sense, but watching it again, I'm not sure I did actually see the foul.
Yeah, it wasn't even. He was given a kind of hands out expression, but when he saw the foul symbol, he just retracted it straight away. So
Riddle goes to Ledonne. Ledonne to fourth. Swipes off with the forehand, then gives to Scullion. Fourth breaks free, and there's the turn. Thrown into some traffic, but we've got another call. Is it a foul on the throw or on the reception? Going back to the throw.
I mean, I think it was on the reception potentially, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I feel like you should give that D when the defender's not even looking. They're just playing honest. And
Scullion to fourth. Hooks the thumbs. Bounce off Hasbaka, then back to Scullion. Quick to the far side. Hawk testing the mark. Wants Scullion. Now high stall count. Fourth. Gives the release valve, and they're in for yet another break.
Yeah, maybe a little bit fortunate on that one. Once or twice close to turns, and I'm not sure what I would say if I was the Finnish team here. It's kind of said it already. It just seems to be kind of a speed thing, and that last one just thrown to a player who looked free, and is probably free against nearly every other team at this event, and probably free against nearly every other player. Like, it was obviously a really big bid, but it was to a player who was standing stationary, and that usually just means all you need to do is judge the defender, and it wasn't like he came out of nowhere. He was the only defender in the area who could have made the play, and maybe they're just getting a little nervous. Not nervous isn't the right word, but seeing a spot and feeling they have to get it quickly because the option won't be there much longer, and maybe they just need to slow down a bit, rely more, like I said, on their smarts rather than on just trying to play how they might have gotten away with playing against everyone else so far, which is probably just doing whatever they wanted.
Finns pick up. Koski throws a leader. Furka goes to the backfield. Oivio. And the leading throw, a bid
Huge
there
one
by Hawk. Sorry, that's Klaus. Takes that one away, goes flying and gets it. No, he doesn't. Smacked down on the second effort. We've got an injury on the play at the same time. Vili out, Vasquio in.
Oh man, some of these bids, those are huge. I know you said earlier later in the day they might struggle. I'm still standing. I think they're looking very good here, and maybe Finland making it a little bit easier. Maybe just that extra speed advantage they have here mightn't be worth as much, but the athletic ability to make that play and to get those hands there and to do it cleanly it's really impressive, and we've seen 3 or 4 of them already.
Reciprocating sub for Houston. Fontanet checks in for Kunzi, and Finland get going. Oivio to Vasquio. Over again to Oivio. He leads and hits quickly through the hands of Koski to Vasquio. Oivio finds target. Viljami. And a high stall count now, but they do get it out. Koski leads all the way around, hits for the goal. Furka is there, and Finland get the response. It's 3-6.
Yeah, and she's just throwing the disc to the ground and smacks it off the backs of the American defender, who basically doesn't flinch and just keeps walking, probably just very intense. So frustrated that she got scored on. I think that tells you all you need to know about the vibes of these teams. I wasn't sure maybe how they're approaching it for Natsuo based on that, and based on some of these layouts, no doubt about it, they're looking to go here and just take this seed and get what they would probably imagine is the easiest path to the final, given they came 6th last year. Probably want to avoid as many tough games as they can where they can.
And we've just had a score correction. It's 5-3, not 6-3. Big shout out to all you watching at home. Make sure you hit that like button, be a subscriber, and hit the join button to get more and to give more. Thanks for being with us on ULTI.TV. Kwok to fourth. Fourth thought about the shot to Tom, gave it, but maybe after Tom had come under, and that's the miscommunication. Finland with a break chance.
Yeah, I think that's their second one in this game with a different receiver. I think that one, it's more on the thrower. I think the first one, it was kind of a close one, but I think the thrower there needed to realize that probably deep shot wasn't on, and even if it was thrown from where he was standing, I don't think he was going to be able to get that one. But Finland's D-line hasn't had too many opportunities yet, so this is, I think, the second D-line opportunity for Finland, and they didn't fare too well last time.
From their own end zone, Finland, Ulainen goes to Santilja, and then to the far sideline, Ulainen. Ulainen again from Antinoja, and Antinoja throws central. Santilja gives the backhand, sends deep, the chase is on, and caught for the goal. Tihonen collects, and the Finns break back.
Dude, that was, from this angle, that was such a weird throw, because it looked like it was only going to come back in if it was outside in, and it was thrown so flat. And then on the rundown, it looked like it was not going back in, but ends up just being perfect and landing exactly where it needs to be for a break, and much needed break for the Finns and for the viewers and for everyone involved in watching this game. The only people that probably didn't like to see that one was the Natsuo team, but a couple more little moments like that, maybe a bit more focus on some of the offensive play that they've been throwing into the hands of the Natsuo defense, and this game could go right down to the wire if Finland can keep playing offense like that.
Big break for the Finns to shake up the momentum. They'll chase this pull down. Natsuo will see it go out of bounds and bring it back into the brick mark. Shout out Patroikis making huge plays. Santilli, and of course Jokinen with the Finnish flags. We've got a Finnish crowd, is that right? Floats one up, catch, two hands to secure, and just inside of the end zone, Natsuo respond, and the goal into the hands of Katzenbach.
Yeah, perfect response there by Natsuo after the last point, getting broken to just go up there and score inside the first couple of passes and make it look easy again. And definitely both these teams, I know we've had lots of points in previous games where we think where things were going in, but the quality on the throw here just seems a bit different to what we've seen in most of the previous games and from most of the previous teams. So many throws here, and like I said before the game, we did a little bit of throwing, and you know, to hit the target is one thing, but to hit the target before and give the defender no chance is another, and that's what we're seeing with a lot of these deep shots.
And Finland in their end. Koski gets a connection. Asikainen to Koski. Leads and high take for Viljami. And through the hands of Koski, Cesario picks up. Hawk, Cesario. Fires to Beach. Fourth takes an inside lane. Beach calls the foul on Koski, and she's going to get a reset shot clock.
I don't think these two are big fans of each other after the last point. Didn't look like the Natsuo player wasn't so happy that she got scored on, and the Finland player accidentally threw the disc and hit her. Now they're having a little disagreement here.
Back into play. I think the stall counts at 2. Leads forward, Katie fourth. And again, forward, gets the connection. Ganzel. Ganzel fires, Cesario uses the body. And then forward for Beach, but there is a pick being called. This one's coming back.
Well, we have a temporary pause, 5-5 in the other game right now.
Ooh. Who's winning?
I almost tried to answer that. Been a long day, but I'm not that tired yet.
Cesario to fourth. Fourth fakes the backhand. Cesario again. And Asikainen.
I can't really tell if players are disagreeing or completely calling BS on each other here with their reactions.
I'd say, but there's dramatic reaction, I would say. Ganzel trying to find his way around. Finn's very close on the mark, and that one bounces off, but is collected on the second effort. I'm not sure if that was 22 or 34. It must have been 22. That is Klaus, sorry, with the goal reception. Nice focus.
Yeah, I think from Ganzel there, you got to look like a pretty intense mark, throws the break, throws the score, and then afterwards decides to tell his man, hey, yeah, get off me, man, that's a bit much. He said it nicer than that. He's pretty friendly about it, and I think it was the Finland player basically was saying, you were pushing me, but that was a pretty intense mark, and I think there's been a little bit of bumping on the mark, if I'm being honest. It looks a little bit like it from the Finland defense, but not much being made of it so far by the Natsuo team, so we're going to say it's one of those things, if all players agree on it, then it's all good. Tradition being carried on by a couple of past, well, I guess this home nation here of this event.
Yeah, we do have a timeout. We're going to take a short break here. We'll be right back with more after this.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it! Oh my goodness! That is unbelievable! And traded the tip and made for it!
That was absolutely incredible. I worked for a Michelin star chef making gelato in Paris. I had my own restaurant in Nicaragua and a food truck in Australia. Why wouldn't you watch me? Check out my YouTube channel.
Second half action about to get underway. Noot 7-4. Thanks for joining us here on ULTI.TV at the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside John Doc, bringing you the action. And we're getting the action. Notsuo looking the goods. Doc, any insights?
I'm just wondering here, I want to see what number 12 Ganzella is saying to the entire Finland team right now. Almost looks like he's coaching them. Finished it with thank you, but I'd say not much of the rest of the message included thank you.
I think it has to do with the marking physicality. Lidonne finds Kunzi. And a stoppage.
All the technicalities of every call being pointed out here. Hey, that toe was pointing left.
And they find a way to get it. Nice layout for Corral. Long stoppage. Corral to Kwok. Fakes the backhand. Testing the mark, then gets the gainer to Tom. Quickly dumped back. Corral then leads to Tom. He's all alone in for a goal. Natsuo. Break again? No, that is the hold to start the half. My bad. This long stoppage got me all flustered. 8-4 nonetheless.
Yeah, and I think that last reception on that one, again for me, the biggest difference between the two teams. Defender looked like he had initially a good starting position, but as soon as the disc went up, he just had to give up. He just couldn't keep up with the pace of the Natsuo receiver. And I just think I'm not sure if there's an area where the Finland team has the advantage that they can turn to and say, hey, let's rely on this more, that Natsuo can't match. Obviously, I don't know the experience levels of the teams completely. I'm not sure if Finland maybe have some kind of zone or something like that they can pull out, but they're going to have to do something a bit different, because right now it doesn't really look like much is going to change. And if they're forced to adjust they're forced to being slightly less aggressive, that's another little thing that'll kind of hurt them a small bit, which you could argue should if they're being too aggressive on the mark.
Has back out of Askio to kick off, and low and turned over. Natsuo have another chance to take advantage, and immediately do. Katie Forth wide open, and Katzenbach hits her, and everything that can go right will go right for Houston if you spell it backwards.
We got all sorts of stuff going on the sidelines now. Now we got female players going over to the male players saying, show me what you're doing. The male player leads his elbow, and this is what I'm doing. You can. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know really what to say after that point. Just everything that's kind of, anything that could go wrong at this stage for the Finland team just kind of going wrong, and seem to have a timeout here. So I guess we'll take another quick little break and come back again in a minute.
I'm Steph Pazzo, and I must eat.
Sometimes commentator, sometimes food eater.
On my ultimate travels in 2023, I sampled culinary classics from all across Europe.
Oh, wow.
guided by some of your favorite Ultimate players.
That's the Dutch hospitality for you right there.
I'll give you an insight into the secret spots that only the locals know.
Are these the best schnitzels in Vienna?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
Go find Steph Pazzo on YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow the European Ultimate Must-Eat series.
Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And created the net and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it!
9-4. Notsuo charging ahead at the expense of the Finns. And send the pole. Can the Finns get the O-line right? Hatzbaka has to put on the Jets just to keep the first throw alive. Zone defense by Notsuo. They go across and around. Vatoranta gets the upfield, then Vasquio to Hatzbaka. Vasquio, and that should work. A floater in for a goal. And Finland get back on the board. Jalovara with the goal.
And I think that'll be the last time we see that zone. No harm in them trying it. I thought Finland were maybe the team that needed to pull out a zone. I don't think Natsuo needed to really try anything different other than what they had been doing so far. So yeah, I think the Finland O-line going to be pretty happy with that. They did a good job at getting around and making sure to punish it when they did get through it. And now they're going to get another chance to come out here on defense. So let's see how they do here. As we said, they haven't had too much joy. I'm not sure if they've even had a chance. I feel they've had one or two maybe chances, but no luck so far. Or they have. Sorry, they've gotten one break, so they need to get one more though, because for most of the points they haven't looked that close.
9-5. What a way to make a living.
Great pull.
Pull goes to Kwok. And Fontenette leads the backhand to Tom. Tom threatens the backhand, then gives to Fourth. Fourth leads, Kwok there. Comes down with it. Fourth was getting some separation, but leaves it with Kwok. He fakes the hammer and finds the corner for what he thought was Fourth, but that one spurts out somehow. I didn't see it, in fact. But I do know that Finland will get the benefit of possession.
And they shoot straight deep.
Blasting it deep. And the defense by Kwok lays out to take position, take it away. They are discussing the contact here as they both lay idle.
Such a nice throw though.
I mean, I thought he had a good step in front by the time that there was grazing contact. I can understand letter of the law foul calling, but he did.
Finland player seems to have retracted it, so I like that. There was enough contact that it's worth thinking about it, and I think when we saw on the replay there, it's crazy, and that's what I mean.
I mean, that was a beautiful layout D. That was a beautiful, beautiful layout D. Fourth comes under. Corral fires for Tom. He takes the fingertips to it. Back in the middle, Fontenette. Can't get around, goes back to Tom. And Tom now looks to center. Fourth is there, space on the break side, but looks back to the short side. Corral hops over the line, and that makes it 10-5. Notsuo, 3 away, 5 ahead.
We've been here for a good few games now, today and yesterday, and I feel if I was to make a top 10 highlight plays, I feel I've seen probably about 6 of them in this game alone. These layout Ds and bids. Again, I talked about a little bit about the speed at the start, and almost every throw that's been D'd in this game from a Finland perspective would have worked against almost every team at this event except the team they're up against now.
I mean, you mentioned that. You've got to be talking that Quack layout D as amongst the number 1 plays of the day, or 2 days thus far.
That might be number 2 or 3 in this game.
Really?
Yeah, there was again, the angle of it on the replay made it look a bit more impressive, and obviously on that one, when there was the first foul call, we're unsure. There was another one down here where he just got a hand in front. It was so clean. It was
yes,
just like,
you're absolutely you're right. They're piling up the highlights. Keep watching.
Poor Finland.
Make sure you hit that like button, and yeah, hopefully the Finns find their way to respond. If you're cheering for them. Wind up, not given. Ulaunen gets it back, and then the up line. Tihonen gets a nice seam up the line. Antinoja and the Finns put another one on the board. Nice reception, Ruihainen for the goal.
Outrageous we didn't get a top 10 highlight layout D in this point, but great work there by Finland. And you're seeing why they came into this event. So after coming second last year, I imagine a lot of the same returning players, and you can see why they haven't lost a game yet, because they're doing this when they're having passages of play like that. It's against a team that's been making the types of plays we've seen all game, huge defensive intensity. So every time Finland are scoring here, it's got to be from really well organized or just an excellent play, and that time it was just good structured play in the tight space and working it up. And they've gotten a break. They haven't looked close to getting too many, but they've had maybe 2-3 chances and they've got one of them, so they're going to need to come out and get another one soon if they want to have any chance of coming back in this one.
Shout out to the Finns in the chat. Anni Jokinen, Jarno Sivo, and Patrick Petroikas. I'd love to come play in Finland. I'd definitely love to come eat some Finnish food. We'll see if we can make that happen for now. We'll see if the team you're cheering for can get a stop, but it's Karel and company looking good for Notsuo. Karel pops one in, and there is the D. Great bid. Yalovara takes it away in front of fourth.
Didn't get a chance to see that one, but I did see a throw being released, and I was a bit surprised, but Finland going to get another chance here to get another one. Just overthrows and turnover, just reaches out and grabs it. And
almost a Callahan, and it unfortunately didn't work, and then the throw behind doesn't work to find Riddle, and the Finns get it again.
Yeah, and I'm seeing some intense looks of heart in the mouth kind of stuff from some of the Finland sidelines, so I guess that answers the question for them as well there. They want to win this one.
Jolavara goes back, Hasbaka gets the connection.
It's gotta go.
Hadamo sends deep. Ulavara on the chase, it is there for the goal. Finns put another one on, and they've got their work cut out for them, but putting some scores up there, showing signs of life. 7-10.
Yeah, the throw was just slightly too good to give her a chance to make another one of these top 10 plays I've been talking about. I feel like we get a look here at the block again, and that one, she fought hard for that one. Maybe slightly questionable throw, but I think the way things have been going for Notsuo, I would understand why they would put that one out in front, and defender had to reach out very hard, put a lot of pressure on there. Finn's going to get another chance here now. So they've gotten 2 now. This is their second chance to get 2 breaks in a row. So if they could get this one, suddenly you might start thinking, hey, maybe they might. I mean, it seems crazy because I feel like every time I'm looking, it feels like Notsuo are on top, but I'm still here thinking Finland have a chance. And I think any teams that play either of these teams in the quarterfinals is not going to be looking forward to too much. They might be hopeful, but it's going to take a lot.
Kwok with a disc and fires for big meters. Fontanet there to cash them in. On the doorstep, Kwok gives an option, but it's Kunze spotted in the dump space. Kwok again, and Mickael hops in. He's not in. Even on the landing he wasn't, but I think and he's still wondering if he's in. I thought he was on the ground when he caught it and still landed on the line.
I would agree
now
with that.
they're playing. Kunze. Now he's got himself a goal. Mickael falls into that one. And Notsuo make it 7-11, always open.
I agree with that one. I like the jump from seemingly very late jump to not even close to in. But it doesn't matter in the end. He gets it third time of trying. And yeah, they needed that one just to stop the Finland momentum or any kind of hope of a comeback. I'm sure the Finns haven't given up yet, but I think they're on 11 now. Maybe, yeah, 11. Just a tough one to come back. It's maybe 7-10. I might have given them a little bit of hope, but I think because the Finns aren't in a do or die situation here, that they're not really going to try and make some kind of crazy push. I imagine they're just going to keep kind of playing the way they have been playing, keep the same lines, and say, hey, look, this one didn't go our way, but it's better to lose now and win later than to win now and lose later.
Natsuo send the pull. And get it into the hands of Tihonen. And Klaus gets back to his feet. And Vasquio. Sorry, that's not Vasquio. That's Tihonen and Klaus having a conversation still.
Some of it just looks very funny. It's like he's putting his hand out, kind of like, what's going on, while he's looking like he still wants to make a throw. And I think maybe a little bit of it, maybe slight language barriers taking players an extra second or two to realize what was actually called.
Tihonen goes into the dump space. Ulaunen there.
Kicks the sand up in his own face.
Far-sided, Ulaunen. And meters were sought after there, but bounces off the fingertips of Kuusinen. Klaus. Spots Cesario charging laterally. He gets rid of it very quickly. Over to Mordock. Fourth, spots Klaus in the corner. Backhand cuts the field, and Notsuo take it to 12. They're one away.
Couple absolute scraps going on in that point. Sand flying everywhere, legs get tangled up, close grabs, close drops. A lot happening at that point, and kind of the way it's been going in this game, Natsuo just come out on top.
Looking across the other field, we've got a similar score line. Well, a little bit tighter. 10-8 now. Pax just put another one up, but they are playing from behind. 10 for Spangled, 8 for Chicken Pax.
Yeah, it's hard to see this Natsuo team. It's hard to see them in a situation where they don't end up in a final. But I think those two teams, obviously, as the top 4 seeded teams, those other two, I haven't seen Spangled yet, but I have seen Chicken Pax, and they impressed me a lot when they saw them. But I'm even more impressed with Natsuo seeing them this time, because this time they're up against an undefeated team playing the same way and making it look just as kind of easy at times.
Vasquio leads and connects. Tight coverage. Gets that one over to Ernest Niemi, and now Vasquio again. Vasquio fires for goal. It's high and just over the thumb. A little bit of contact there, but not sure that was the cause of the incompletion. Here it is again.
Yeah, it was a close one. I think she just wasn't able to hold on to it, and not enough contact for her to think that it would have made any difference. chance to win it here for Natsuo.
Ganzel to Katzenbach. And again to Ganzel. He fires, and that one is caught somehow. Hawk falls into it with a bid on the hip. Hawk sends deep, Katzenbach on the chase. This could do it, not quite in yet. Katzenbach points with the offhand, takes the timeout on the goal line on game point. And with that, we're gonna take a very short break here. We'll be back to see if Natsuo can put the final nail in the coffin.
Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And created the net and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
And at 12-7, the timeout taken on the doorstep for game point. Let's see what Natsuo have drawn up. I imagine all they drew up was a little bit of a rest so that nobody had to charge up field for a one high stall count throw. Ganzel in the dump space. Ledonne pointing to the break side where she's going to cut. And Katzenbach does go under the arm, finds Ledonne exactly where she said she would be. And that is the game-winning goal. Natsuo showing some dominance in this top-of-the-table seeding game, beating Finland 13-7 here on the sands of Sardinia.
Yeah, really, really impressive performance by them. I was really impressed yesterday, and like I said, even more impressed here today. And in this game alone, maybe 5 of the 10 top plays of the event in this one. As we hear the volunteers say, time is over. The game is over.
Both are over now.
Yeah. And yeah, I think for this one, not so in my eyes, because I haven't seen Spangled yet, and I have been impressed by Chicken Packs, but I think not so for me are the team to beat so far.
Well, Doc has got his favorite picked. The jury's still out. I know how good Spangled were last year, and still up on Chicken Packs. It's going to be a clash, but it is still not a two-team conversation. Plenty to be sorted out. We've got a full slate of games tomorrow. Those will all be up by the time you wake up, but we will be live from 9 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure you stay locked on. You're still with us. Hit that like button now. It is an order of a prompt. I'm sure if you do it, your love life will improve. I'm certain. And while you're doing that, we will send you off with our best regards for the ULTI.TV community, for Noah Brinkworth on production, and for John Dock alongside. I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.
ULTI.TV.